Inclusive practice. Aims and outcomes. To understand the needs of children and how they can be included, and to look at ways to include all children and families. Inclusion checklist. Visitors can see the following: that the attitudes and behaviours of practitioners, children and parents demonstrate how unremarkable it is that disabled children are part of a wide cross-section of the local community using the setting. Practitioners are highly responsive, thinking on their feet to be a resource to the children and to provide assistance where necessary, and working as a team where appropriate. Activities are led by the interests and enthusiasms of each child who attends and takes place with regard to any likes, dislikes, and specific needs each child may have. The particular background and characteristics of each individual child are fully taken into account but are not unduly highlighted. Everyone is welcomed on arrival and wished well on departure in a way that suits them. Pictures, equipment and resources reflect disabled people's lives as part of a wide representation of children's differing backgrounds and experiences. Discriminatory language or behaviour is addressed and discussed sensitively with any adults or children involved. Children and adults each initiate communication with one another. Each child can choose to play with others, to play alongside others, or not to play with others. Practitioners sensitively address the issues of any child as consistently being excluded from other children's play. Each child and adult is respected and valued as an individual with equal rights and choices, and is given the chance to exercise those rights and choices. Assessed acceptable risk is available to each child to ensure both safety and excitement. The person in charge, such as the senior play worker, the childminder or the club leader, is committed to the active participation of children, their parents and carers, and team members and others, to ensure good quality provision and to ensure each individual's needs are met. They can identify action taken and progress already made towards inclusion, the current priorities, and the things that he or she still needs and plans to do to be more inclusive. Has made time to build links with families, schools and services for disabled children by becoming directly involved with them as part of a commitment to give all local children and families a genuine choice to be part of the service, and has made and continues to make reasonable adjustments for better physical access to and around the setting. They run daily debriefing sessions and regular team meetings to reflect on practice together and to develop future good practice, where working alone is part of regular meetings with other colleagues for the same purposes, such as support groups, childminder networks. They have made and continues to make attempts to identify and deploy sources of funding where necessary to support the inclusion of children who might otherwise be excluded. They have made time to build links with disabled people who can contribute effectively as part of a wide cross-section of adults involved in the work of the setting, and accesses appropriate support and advice from colleagues and other expert professionals. All practitioners have had attitudinal training around disability and other equality issues and continue to take part in training about inclusion. They are aware that attitudes, environments, structures and policies need attention in order that no child is disadvantaged. They feel they are informed and consulted by managers and leaders and have or are developing necessary skills to communicate effectively with each child and encourage all children to develop ways of communicating with one another. They can describe the systems in place to respond to any individual child who may need specific assistance, know and use children and adults' chosen names, use consistent positive language and are confident about explaining why that terminology is preferred. The terms disabled children and non-disabled children are used rather than special needs and normal to be or able-bodied. They create opportunities to communicate with each child and their parents or carers to discuss how best to build on children's interests, meet their needs and promote their participation. And each child has opportunities for formal and informal consultation so that they can express their views and opinions on sessions that they take part in, on the setting as a whole, whatever communication methods they choose. Reports that practitioners seek their views and pay attention to their requests. It indicates that they're generally happy in the setting and are helping to show their parents and carer what they've been doing, especially if they have difficulty with communication. Each parent and carer feels welcome and valued as an expert on their child, with a continuing key role in helping practitioners to enable their child to feel safe and involved. It's provided with a variety of opportunities for formal and informal consultation to influence what goes on in the setting as a whole, and is comfortable approaching practitioners without feeling that they are imposing on them. And they feel that there is a contented atmosphere in the setting and is happy with the experiences and opportunities their children have. Policies and paperwork indicate that a commitment to meeting individual children's needs and creating an inclusive ethos underpins public and internal documents which are continually developing. The setting will do everything it can to make children feel equally welcome. Practitioners who have a specific role in assisting one particular disabled child are clear that their responsibilities focus on the inclusion of the child, as well as whatever level of individual assistance may be necessary. In group settings, these workers are full and equal members of the team. Written information about each child includes details of how best to meet their needs, procedures for any care or medical requirements, and a risk assessment or personal plan where appropriate. The setting has a vision of what it wants to do, policies and procedures or how it does it, and a process of monitoring and evaluation to see how well it's doing. This includes all who are welcomed in the setting and a process of continuing reflection on the development of inclusive policy and practice. How is this done in your setting? Have a discussion and give each other feedback on the points raised. What are additional needs? Additional needs are deemed to be extra help a child may need to achieve their expected levels of development and learning. This may be for a variety of reasons and may stem from development delay or just a mild difficulty in an area of learning, such as speech and language, to a more serious condition that may be hereditary. Early years practitioners need to have a basic awareness of child development and how children learn and progress. They also need to have an understanding about the range of special needs and how they are defined. Special educational needs are defined as one of the following: developmental delay, specific medical conditions and disorders, a speech or language disorder, emotional and or behavioural difficulties, and a learning difficulties such as dyslexia. How does your setting include these children? What else could you do? Thank you for listening. Here are my contact details. Please subscribe to the channel.